welcome to FloridaFishyFinger, my YouTube channel where I talk about micro skiffs and other things that you might be into. And today I'm going to start the first of a series which will have 10 videos associated with it, which is essentially my journey to select a micro skiff, which will then become one of the staples on this channel. And at the top of the list is the one that I will highlight today. They're in no particular order, it's just this one is the most on my mind. And the reason is because if you watch the channel, you know I have an Ancona Shadowcast 16, which I love, and it's incredibly versatile, the best boat I've ever owned. And this is made by the same manufacturer, Marsh Skiffs, although it's a slightly different concept. So I already have strong confidence in the people who make it. So let's take a look at this. But before we go into that, I want to point out that I think most people don't have $100,000 to drop on a boat. Most of us are dealing with a limited budget, and like I am. And one of the things I do is look for online loans, and there's a personalloans.com that is quite good. Look in the description if you'd like to learn more about it. But you know, how much do you really have to spend on a boat? And if we start to say used, well, then we start to say all kinds of issues. Let's face it. You really need to put the comfort of a new boat first, in my opinion. So I'm going to say new for sure. And a lot of the boats I like the most hold their value so much. So let's say I want to spend around $5,000. So as we look at this boat today and the rest of the boats that we look at, one of the things I want to be sensitive to is to stay within that, see if we could stay within that $5,000, approximately $5,000 range. Okay, so Salt Marsh Skiffs, what are they all about? Well, you can read on their website, and they say that they are tough and they are built with Kevlar laminates. That's the bulletproof vest stuff. And it's also very lightweight, and that it's got a lot of flotation. I believe that. My Shadowcast has a lot of flotation for such a small boat, but nowhere near as sturdy as this, of course, built out of Kevlar. Now, one of the things that I want to do with this boat, the boat that I end up getting, whether it's this one or one of the others I'll show, is to be able to take it out in the ocean off the beach. So this is one of those options. It certainly meets the toughness category without any doubt, being made from Kevlar. I have no problem with the concept of dragging this over the sand at the beach. I believe it could take it. I don't know that. I've never done it, but you know, that would be my belief initially. And yeah, so let's really dive into what this Savannah looks like. And it's a wow, it's a pretty boat. I mean, look at that thing. Especially with the bold lime color like that. Now, I wouldn't get it lime. I would get it guide green. But look, here's someone who got it kind of an off-white color. They call it a kayak skiff crossover, which is kind of interesting. One of the other boats I'll cover in an upcoming episode is branded similarly. And I think that's a good way to refer to it. Self-bailing cockpit. And if you're going in the ocean, that is essential. So that looks really like it would be a plus. It'll take up to 10 horsepower, it looks like, although it'll take much smaller. And with a 3.5, they say you can get a 12-mile range, which is more than enough to go out on a close-to-shore ocean mission for me, for sure. 40-inch beam. That's pretty wide. That's wider than it looks in this picture. 14-foot length, and that is pretty long. So now, I mean, it's an actual boat, I would claim, once you get to 14 feet, even if it's a paddle board, like some of the larger paddle boards for fishing, 14 feet long. To me, that's a boat. But, you know, you're right on the fine line between boat and sup here, which is why they call it the kayak skiff crossover. In this case, it's more like a kayak because it's raised above the water, less like a stand-up paddleboard. I could think of this as a very large stand-up paddleboard that's built like a, you know, bulletproof machine, self-bailing. I love the way it's got that raised transom in the back. To me, that's super important, especially if you're going to a place where waves can wash over the back. I think this would be Very good to have that raised transom in the back. I found it to be very good to have a raised transom in the back just to prevent splashover in the ocean. Not like I'd be taking it out in heavy ocean conditions, but even when it gets a little windy in the afternoon. You notice they have, it looks like the rolled gunnel around the edge, which is really cool. They've got a tiller extension on this particular one. Wow, I could just talk about this one all day long. Tiller extension on the, looks like a propane engine, fancy propane engine. That would be an interesting way to go. Maybe lighter to carry that down over the beach access. And I love this stainless or aluminum bar that they've got in the back there for a holding bar, and then they've got the tiller. I bet you that is so fun to ride. Wow, oh, I want one so badly. Personalloans.com, here I come. Okay, so rod capacity. It will take 4 rods. Are you kidding me? Yeah. And there they are, the 4 rods, just tucked up neatly on the side, perfectly designed. It looks like it's got a cleat up on the left-hand side like that. I love the style points for just putting it on one side. The idea is it's like the perfect pond and lake boat. It's just a perfect boat to have. I mean, you think it's like a bulletproof boat. In my opinion, it is just an incredible work of art. And you see this. These aren't 2 small dudes. I don't know these guys, but they're not small. And look at how high above the water that floats, relatively speaking. And the cool thing is the guy in the back with the blue on has that platform he's standing up on, which you've got to have. And look, that's a propane one like in the previous picture, right underneath the platform. So incredible. And there's a video here you can watch that shows them going through a little bit of boat wake out in, looks like, the Indian River. Yeah, so that's so cool. And yeah, you can contact them and buy it, but we didn't look at the price. Let's go back to the price here real quick. Okay, so it says $39.50 for the hull, another $1,000 for the trailer. Then you can get the awesome Torpedo, I guess, electric engine for $2,500. Or you can do what I'd probably do, which is just deal with not going super fast and have an engine that sips gas. I would probably go with the 2.5 horsepower, to be honest. Okay, so that would put us a little over the $5,000 mark, but not by much. You'd only be over by $1,000, and now you'd have a brand new engine, a brand new hull, and a brand new trailer, all of which are easy to maintain. Like almost nothing can break. There's no steering cables, there's no whatever, there's just the engine. Anything that you did to the hull, I think it would be very hard to do anything to the hull that would matter. I had a couple little minor warranty things on my Shadowcast, and it was like the easiest thing I've ever encountered. So I can only tell you my experience. I can't speak for them, of course. But this is incredible. All right, let's look. I did also a search on Google just to see what kind of pictures were out there of it. Oh, I particularly like this one up in the upper left-hand corner where it's right up there near those mangroves. Man, that's perfect. It looks like it floats so shallow. There's that green one again. This one's kind of interesting. They're selling it on microskiff.com, and it's on the trailer, so you get to see it on the trailer, and it's really impressive to me how tall it is for such a small boat. At this one, that's multicolored. That's interesting. I like it. And show some poling. Yeah. Oh, that is such a nice boat. Anyway, hey, if you like this boat or you're shopping for your own boat, go ahead and let me know in the comments. And I'd be interested to know as I make a decision on which micro skiff I get, which will then become part of the Florida Fishy Finger experience, fishing in the ocean at the end of my street and sharing that with you. So go ahead and click the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Let me know what you think in the comments. Click the thumbs up to say you liked the video, and also click the notification bell so you'll be notified as new videos come out. We've got a few series that are ongoing now that you're probably wanting to be tuned into. So thank you for watching. Florida Fishy Finger. Come on back and see me soon.